Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building, baby. We're going to the top. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this situation with Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Like, okay, Tim Norman has been arrested. And it's like, you've been arrested for your nephew? A plot for $400,000 and change? Like, what's going on with that situation? I'm like, oh, I am shocked. I'm like, wow, like Tim has did some things. He's been locked up before and everything else like that. And, you know, he had problems when it came to Jennifer Williams because he is Jennifer Williams' ex and everything else like that. But, you know, he has been out here parading himself around as the good guy, the good father, the good son, the good businessman. And allegedly, you know, he is being charged and he has been arrested for allegedly putting a plot on his nephew for $450K life insurance policy back in 2014. Like, ooh, and then he worked along with a woman named Trisha Ellis. I was like, Lord have mercy. Ellis and Tim Norton allegedly, and you know, plotted on Tim Norman's nephew. That is crazy. Like, are you serious? Like, what is really going on with that situation? I was like, what? Are you serious? So yes, Tim from Welcome to Sweetie Pies has been locked up. He is facing charges. He is facing federal charges too as well. And so is, you know, Miss Ellis, because she's the alleged stripper that was involved, and she had the plot together where she was able to give the location where Tim's nephew Andre Montgomery was located on the day of his departure from this earth. Like, damn, Miss Robbie must be going through so much. She got a son is being locked up, you know, for allegedly taking out his own nephew, which is Miss Robbie's grandchild. Like, what is going on with this situation? Like, damn, was he that hard up for money back then? I guess so. Did he use that money to start some businesses? He must have. I'm like, what is going on with this situation? Like, for real? Like, this is crazy. But, you know, everyone's innocent until proven guilty. Like, what is really going on? Like, this is a sad situation. I was like, whoa. And Miss Robbie, you know, she lost a husband, she lost a son, and now she has lost a grandchild, and she might lose another son too as well, because her son was out in these streets plotting on his own family members. Are you serious? Like, that is crazy, for real. Like, what is going on? You can't let money control you or rule you. Like, that's your family member, that's your blood. And he was a young man too as well to do some crazy shit like this. This is crazy. This young man didn't deserve to be departed from this earth, but, you know, it's innocent until proven guilty. But, like, this is a whole crazy situation. And then you have Tim. He was out here on Welcome to Sweetie Pies, you know, doing an episode basically talking about what happened to his family, what happened to his nephew, Andre Montgomery, which allegedly he was involved in his departure from this earth, and he's out there with his mama. Who else is involved in this situation? Like, he was clearly out here. I'm like, what is really going on with this situation? Like, this is crazy, for real. Like, you know, there's always a lot of crazy things that be going on and everything else like that. But for him to be a part of this, allegedly to even be accused of this, is crazy too as well. And this is where he's out on one of the episodes of Welcome to Sweetie Pies with his mother, you know, pointing out the area where his nephew has departed from this earth. And he also pointed out his brother area where he departed and where his father departed from this earth too as well. And if you can do that and be involved, ooh, you are a cold-blooded, baby. When I say cold-blooded, I mean cold-blooded. Like, I ain't, You guys tell me what you think about the situation. And then on top of that, This is just like real crazy. Like, what's going on, Peep Squad? What's going on, New Sky? What's going on, Tia? What is going on, the homeless advocate? What's going on, Missy Scott? What's going on? Yeah, this is crazy. Like, I don't even know what is, like, this is like a real crazy situation, point blank and period. I'm just like, whoa. And this is a video of him arguing, with his children's mother, Janae. He was arguing with her, and he was upset because she wouldn't let him see the child. And also his mother, Miss Robbie Montgomery, she got on Instagram too as well, and she was coming for the baby's his children's mother, you know what I mean? And so it's probably a good situation where the baby mother was basically blocking him from seeing his child, because allegedly, if this crap is true, if this is true and he actually did this, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't want nobody like that watching your kids, or even though if they're the kid's father, because you don't know what is going on through their mind and what really controls them and what really have them moving. No, his baby mama wasn't lying, Tia. She wasn't lying. And she was out here, battling Tim and the grandma, because the grandma, she was out here too as well. Miss Robbie Montgomery, she was out here and she wanted to see her grandchild. And I totally understand that too as well. But coming from this type of background, I would be scared for my child to be around, and maybe, she had a motherly instincts where she can sense it, or she could have basically, giving Tim a hard time, because Tim was like, I pay for that car, I pay for that house, I pay for that mattress, I pay for everything that you got, blase and the third. She better be glad he didn't try to come and get what was owed to him, because evidently money is very important to him, for real. Yes, the grandmother's in denial all day, every day, but we gotta say innocent until proven guilty. And yes, Missy Scott, it seems like Jennifer Williams was probably correct when she was saying that he was violent, when she was saying that he was a stalker, when she said that he was chasing her. She went and got, a court order against him, a restraining order. He went and got one against her. And, she was telling how awful the relationship was. And she even had Evelyn Lozada come through and testify. She even talked to some of his ex-girlfriends. And basically, he was painting a picture that Jennifer Williams was the bad person. He painted the picture that his, children's mother's Janae, Wallach, I think her name is Wallach, her last name is Wallach, is the bad person and everything else like that. But look what you being charged with. Like, that's a federal crime. That's something where there's a paper trace, and somebody who was probably the alleged hitman that was involved in the situation, one of them probably got caught up, and they said, you know what, I have a unsolved murder case for you. So, and they probably got a deal, or somebody that they associate with probably said something, because they got caught up. Because anytime anybody get caught up with like a little, petty crime or crime or whatever, and they know information of a bigger crime that they can think that could be a fish for them to get out of jail free card, guess what? They gon' use it. I know Miss Robbie has to be devastated. Like, this is so much for her to deal with. Like, that's a lot going on. And so, I don't know when she gonna see the grandbaby now, I know his children's mother is probably running to the courthouse right now, and she ain't nothing to play with, but he's out here allegedly with murder plots and things like that. So she was going back and forth with Miss Robbie, Montgomery, and she was going back and forth with him, and he was out here just laying it all out, talking about she was this, she was that, she's terrible, she tried to set him up, she called the cops on him, and he was like, it's Black Lives Matter situation, and he's a convicted felon, and he could have lost his life, all types of stuff. And he was like, I brought Christmas gift, I brought this, she's sleeping at my house, all types of stuff. And look what is happening to this situation. I don't know what he done did. I don't know if he done did this or not, but it's innocent until proven guilty. But yes, he has been charged, and the woman that's involved in the case has been charged. Her name is Alice. She's the alleged exotic dancer, and basically she was the one that gave the heads up where his nephew was gonna be. And like, that is just total, like, how can you, if you could do that to your own blood, allegedly, if you could do that to your own blood, you could do that to anybody, anybody that's close to you, because money speaks and bullshit walks to you, and money is the ruler of your life. To do that for 400K, for 450K, he worked along with this woman, whoever she told, whoever she talked to, or she could have got caught up to as well. But yes, somebody folded and told the truth, or allegedly told the truth. It's gonna be a situation where who do you believe until you see the evidence, until they actually can figure everything out, because they must got enough evidence if they arrested him, you know what I mean? And so we'll see what happens. And how's that going to be for Miss Robbie, Montgomery? How's she going to deal with this situation? Does she support her son? Does she, hire an attorney for him? Do she support him even though he took away, her grandson, one of her grandsons, one of her grandchildren? Like, come on, what's going on with that situation? I got to be hard. What do you do? What do you do in a situation like that? Never trust a man with big ass thighs. That's for sure. I was like, what is going on? So Miss Robbie's son, the co-star of the former show that was on OWN, James Timothy Norman, was busted by feds for his alleged role in the 2016 shooting death of Andre Montgomery, his nephew and Miss Robbie's grandchild. How do you support him? Because the family's going to be looking at her like, you better not help him. He better get a public defender, unless they believe that this is totally bogus. Or is he the only one in the family that was down with this plot? Why does he got an insurance policy on his nephew? Why doesn't the mother have the insurance policy, and why is he the sole beneficiary of the insurance policy? Did anybody know about it? So if no one knew about this insurance policy that he had, does that mean that he's guilty in their eyes, and it was a plot? They know him better than we know his ass. I was like, Lord have mercy, what's going on? According to the documents, the prosecutors say Norman who owns Sweetie Pie Restaurant, took out a $450K life insurance policy on his nephew back in 2014, and then worked with a woman named Alice to pull off the murder plot. The feds, I can't even say it. The feds claim they communicated on burner phones in the days leading up to the departure of Andre Montgomery. Like, OMG, like, how do you do that? Oh, Lord have mercy. I guess when it rains, it really pours, because this is some shit. Ever since this show's been canceled, ever since he had these celebrity relationships, shit done went down for, Timothy Norman. It went down. Oh my goodness. It's so crazy. And it happened. And then, as Tim Norton is describing the situation while he is over there on, his TV show, when it was actually, Welcome to Sweetie Pies, when it was actually on TV, he's talking about, oh my God, this is so sad because it happened right in front of my grandmother's house. This crime happened right in front of my grandmother's house and things like that. And basically saying this is all terrible, but allegedly he plotted the crime, and he knew it was going to happen in front of his grandmother's house, old house. And then he gonna stand there with his mama and basically be like, you got to get out of town. You got to get out of Dodge. You got to leave. And allegedly he's a part of this crime. I was like, Lord have mercy. Like, 2020 is the year of reveal. Like, everything is coming out. They traced that nephew's phone call records. They probably did that too as well, but it took them a couple of years to, handle their business. Somebody, hey, what's up, Chop It Up? Somebody talked about it. Somebody dropped a dime too as well. They could have had the phone calls and her calling, Tim Norton and everything else like that, but how do they connect her and him to the people that they hire for the plot too as well? So that's one situation. How do they know that the life insurance policy was actually the motive of this crime? And how did they know he had the policy too? How did they figure all that out? Somebody was speaking and somebody was talking too as well. I wonder, did he let any of the family know that he had this life insurance policy on his nephew? I bet he didn't give his Andre's, Montgomery's mother any money, any nothing, gave her nothing. Like, Lord have mercy. It is just too. Oh yeah, he was crying, the homeless advocate. Yes, he was crying too as well, but it looked like he cried more on the part where he was telling the story on that particular clip on his father. So his father being, deported from this earth. So I was like, damn. And then they also got the woman, Mrs. Ellis, the exotic dancer. They got her down in the fold too as well, where she only got $9,000. Now you might be facing life in prison, and $9,000 don't go far, baby. $9,000 don't go far at all. $9,000 is not worth doing a crime. You buy one thing, next thing you know, all the money's gone, unless you're investing in some property. And $9,000 is not really a lot to invest in property unless it's a small property that you own. But like, you put in your life, she can make $9,000 in a week or maybe 2 weeks if she stay on the stage and she dance it off, you know what I mean? Or she go to the back, go to the, the players room or whatever. That $9,000 ain't worth being the one making these phone calls. They could be traced back to you with these burner phones. And yep, so they got the burner phones. They got that information. So it is what it is. They communicated on burner phones and the days leading up to, the departure of Andre Montgomery in St. Louis. Like, Lord have mercy. Ooh, I know that gotta hurt Miss Robbie gotta be hurt. She gotta be hurt and just like, damn. She's probably thinking, I wish I would have never got on OWN, because once they got on OWN, it's just been tragic after story after story, just after all types of stuff. And our situation and so they basically have the lady dancer, Mrs. Ellis. They do have her, her phone lines were pinging right off the telephone pole right near the crime scene, and she called Mr. Tim Norman right after, and then they met up, and she deposited $9,000 and various bank accounts too as well. You don't deposit the money, baby, because it can be traced. Whatever you gotta spend, you spend that $9,000 cash. Because if you put it in the bank, they're gonna ask you where you got it from, how you got it. You gotta show some proof, baby. So I'm like, So yep. So Ellis is facing the same murder for hire conspiracy charge. So they can put a lot on a conspiracy charge like so. We're going to see how this work out. Never trust a man with thick hips. Lord have mercy. Chop it up. It's sad because everyone can take out a life insurance policy on you. You don't even know it. And that's very true. You don't even know. Anybody could just take one out on you. I don't know if they changed the rules, but the last time I checked, all they need is your date of birth and your social security number. And sometimes they don't even need that. They'll look it up in the system as long as they get that payment in the mail from you or deposit or transfer you. Hey, Norris, Tony, what's going on? So yes, this is a sad situation. Exactly why I stay to myself and my sons. It's crazy how you can't even trust your own blood, let alone a friend or somebody you're in a relationship with, because you never know how they plotting. So Jennifer Williams better be glad that she done got up out of that situation. Yes, rest in peace, Andre Montgomery, because that is a sad situation. That was a young man, and then the crime and the badness of the area didn't take him out. It was his own flesh, and he probably knew the dancer or the exotic dancer. Like, a really sad situation, straight up and down for the mother. Tim, if he's involved in this situation, he can kick rocks and he can do whatever, but it's always innocent until proven guilty. And you can't really trust the court system like that. But if you got that life insurance policy and nobody in your family knew about it, then that's the situation, straight up. So they would know if you actually are guilty or you was plotting to as well, because when he died, somebody got to pay for the funeral, the burial, the church, the repast, got to get the outfit done, you got to get embalmed and all that other good stuff. So maybe Andre Montgomery already had insurance, and so they didn't need to take up donations for him, or or anything else like that. So Tim just cashed out and was moving. Oh, 2020 is a crazy year. 2020 is going down. They're going to like them hips in prison. Lord have mercy. Tia, what's going on with your sister? It's good to see you. Bridget, he deserves to be in jail. His nephew, all for insurance. Poor Miss Robbie Charles needs to stay away from him. Didn't she take him to court too because he was trying to take over her business at one point in time? Yes, thank you so much, the homeless advocate. I appreciate that. New Sky, please like, share, please like the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. So I don't know how you guys feel about the situation. If you guys know any other information, or if you want to comment and talk on the situation, you can call in. But this young man did not deserve to lose his life like that, especially probably by an uncle that he trusted and he probably looked up to as well, and wanted to get his life in order and do the right thing. And his uncle is the one that took he didn't even put $1 million. He didn't even put 1.5 million. You know, he's a businessman. I don't know if he had the restaurants then or whatever, but when you have businesses like that with multiple money being exchanged, you usually have higher insurance policies. But $450K is a lot of money, you know what I mean? But if you think about doing time behind it, it ain't a lot of money. You know, if I'm gonna do time, I want it to be $1 billion that I embezzle or I take. Let it be $1 billion that I do, not no $450,000, because money spends real fast today. Money goes so quick because everything's so expensive, especially it's like, you know, and soon as you got that money, it itches you to spend it, and things are so expensive that before you know it, you're paying this one, that one, paying that bill, paying this, paying that. Before you know it, you know, you ain't got no money in your pocket. You down to the last 1,000. And the girl that did it for 9,000, she got really nothing. And she probably got kids. It looks like she got kids from, you know, some of her pictures and things like that. So I don't know if she has kids or they could have been her family members. But to do something like that to your own flesh and blood, that you saw this young man being birthed into this world and watch him grow up to an adult, and you gonna do something like that, it's allegedly for $450K. Like, Lord have mercy, you could have did something else. You would have been better off doing something else, because, and then you have the nerve to you should be treating everybody like kings and queens and be on your best behavior. But no, you've been out here wilding, Mr. Norman. You've been out here wilding. You've been out here acting up. You've been a problem. When your relationship and stalking situation like this is, I never once thought Tim had anything to do with this. I didn't even know about it. I never watched the show. Every now and then I watch the show. I watched the show maybe 5 episodes straight, and I was like, it was just too much food. It just had me hungry, and that food looked good. I did want to go down there and get me some food from Sweetie Pie's. Hey, what's up, Chef Disaster? I did want to go down there and get some food. That food looked good that they was cooking in that kitchen. I ain't gonna even lie. Nicole, she called the nephew first to meet up with him. That's how they got the address. But Tim already knew what his nephew was all about and what he was going to be doing. And so they use a conning female, to call him, and basically, and usually when they have plots like this, sometimes they used to use females as a decoy to get you and catch you off guard, catch you slipping. You go visit a female, you get caught sleeping, or they say come outside and you don't know it's a setup. It is what it is. Like, Lord have mercy. He could have gave her money to keep her mouth closed. I don't know. She probably took that $9,000 and thought she was in heaven. But she's going to definitely have a rude awakening. It's definitely going to be a sad situation, And Miss Robbie, I don't even know how she gonna get through this type of situation. So do she pay, for his attorney? Does she help him out? Does she talk to him while he's locked up? Because that is her son. And what is her child gonna think that, my brother done took out my child? So how is that gonna work out? And the family could possibly go to the media about the situation. You never know what's going to happen with this. Like, this is crazy. Like, How do you handle? Hey, Ralph, what's going on? What's good with you, Ralph? What's going on? Hey, Linnell, what's going on? He took his mother. I know. I saw. I played the video. I couldn't believe that he did this. That he did all that. Like, that is so crazy. But that tells you how he just don't give a damn. And they got caught. And that's what happens. Sometimes what you do in the dark do come in the light. And 2020, a lot of things is coming to light because that is wrong. And that boy's spirit is probably all over this earth roaming for justice, knowing that this man was probably at his funeral, said a eulogy, was crying in the church, jumping up and down, clapping. He probably was even one of the pallbearers and everything else like that. He probably helped with the repast, serving the food, crying, hugging his family member. It's going to be all right. And next thing you know, he is being charged with this crime in 2020. And, So it was something that he planned out because he got the insurance, and once you get insurance on somebody's life, you're preparing for them to if something ever happens to them, they're gonna go. But if your job is to make sure something does happen to them, then they're definitely gonna go. And so there's a whole bunch of conspiracy going on with the situation because you got the hitman, you got the woman that lured him out to find out his location and have him come outside and let Tim know. And somebody let and she let the people that were supposed to come in and do the crime and let them know. And he's caught off guard. He thinks it's another day in the neighborhood. He's getting a call from a female, and they were scoping and watching him too as well. And then she ended up taking $9,000 and she ended up depositing in various accounts, basically trying to hide the money because it was ill-gotten gain from a murder and then from fraud from the government, which is a federal crime. So it's conspiracy. So they're going to be hit with a whole bunch of charges. And now if there's like a couple of, they can even hit them with a RICO act, especially Tia, if you're right that he's been sending her money over the years to keep her quiet, he can hit her with a RICO act. Who knows? I'm like, damn, like this situation is crazy. It's so low down. It's so dirty. Stuff like that hurts because sometimes you can't even trust your own family. You can't even trust people. So that's why you got to trust in yourself and stay prayed up, stay oiled up, stay bathed up. You got to have your herbs. You got to have your Jesus. You got to have your cross. You got to have your Holy Ghost oil. You got to have your protection. You got to have your Ogun. You got to have everything. You got to protect your house. You got to protect your travels and your family because you don't know the person that is smiling and grinning in your face and you share the same parents and you are blood related could come up with a plan like this. Like he planned this out. He thought about this. Like this wasn't nothing that, he thought about, okay, I need some money and this is how I'm going to get a quick buck. This is how I'm going to do it. Like that is crazy. And he got the insurance policy in 2014. So he was itching to get his nephew, Andre Montgomery, rest in peace, rest in power. He was itching to get him because he got the insurance policy in 2014. And then the alleged departure from this earth was 2016. Like that is crazy. Like that's on some whole next level stuff. Felt like I'm watching the ID channel. Like what's really going on? And then Tim is out here wilding on Instagram, having a ball, trying to beat down his baby mother with words and talk how bad about. You should be glad that you was free at the time that you was free. You should have kept your mouth closed and stayed under. You should have went and said your Hail Marys. Your Hail Marys. Your Hail Marys. Oh Lord, this is crazy. You cannot collect without a death certificate. Yeah. You have to show proof of that. Back in the day, you could show just a newspaper clipping back in the day. Tia, I was just about to say that Jam Master Jay. Yep, we talked about that yesterday. We'll see if and then the person with Jam Master Jay, one of the dudes with Jam Master Jay case, he's been posting videos and giving, Instagram eulogies on Jam Master Jay and basically talking about violence and posting murals of Jam Master Jay, and he allegedly slept on Jam Master Jay couch too as well. You can't, you got to be very careful who you let in your life. You got to read them down. You got to smell them down, sniff them down, touch them down, water them down, spray them down, smoke them down. You got to do everything to make sure who enters is who they say they is, because you need to bring out that second face if they have one, because that is low down. That's a crazy situation, Martha. He wasn't crazy about Andre. So sad that he thought of him as useless enough to think he was worth more. I know, Grace Turner. I know, like, it is crazy. Dirty low down to the ground, your nephew. Yes, Ralph, dirty low down. Like, whoa. He didn't fear nothing. But now he's going to fear them walls. But he's innocent until proven guilty. We're just speculating on the situation. We don't know, but Tim has been out. He's been accused of a lot of different other things when it comes to females, and people was like, nah, not Tim. Tim is speaking correctly. Tim is talking in that power of him being a reformed, convicted criminal, and now he got his life together and he's just trying to support his family, take care of them. And then he's saying that these women are trying to put him back behind bars and everything. They're jealous of him because he's on their own network, and he swore Jennifer was trying to use him, and she probably was trying, TV shit, you know what I'm saying, because she wanted to be on TV, and it was better to be on a show with a guy that you dating than to be on a show with the women that you're beefing with. So this is, Tim Norman's, children's mother. She got away. She got a husband. She's happy and she's in love. They're bodybuilders together. They work out together. She takes care of them kids. Them kids be looking happy. When she's on Instagram, she be throwing birthday parties. This man actually worships her and she's happy with him. It might not be perfect, but I'm telling you right now, it's better than being with, Tim Norman from Sweetie Pies. I tell you that. Hey, what's up, Happy Days? How you doing? Who knows? I have no idea. Happy Days. Ooh, you spoke a word right there. Yes, he is happy, and people were saying she was better and she should. Yeah, she is better off. Yep. And Jennifer Williams was speaking on the situation. So I mean, right here in this video, he is going off on her. He is going off. He's talking about, I showed up to the house. He is going off. And he's talking about his children's mother. She done escaped and she got away. And Jennifer Williams better be lucky she got away and she escaped. Kevin Brown, glad you got away from Tim. Amen. Amen. Oh, Lord. Tim had the audience 50-50 because he came out here saying, wild things that other people had said about Jennifer, which, sometimes when it makes sense, it kind of adds up. And then, people was like 50-50 on the situation. Also, Tim, he dated or allegedly was messing around with Phaedra Parks, but that situation didn't pan out. They better be glad they walked away because he probably would have put a life insurance policy out on them too. Because they worth money. Seems like a bad, toxic environment. I feel you, Chef Disaster. The homeless advocate. Happy Days. Tim brother never had a positive male role model in his life. I know. I was like, when I saw this come up on my Instagram, I was like, what? I just talked about Tim and his mom arguing with, Janae, about visiting their grandchild. And they was both, she exposed text messages. And then Tim, just jumped on Instagram and he exposed some text messages. They was going back and forth. I was like, Lord have mercy. I felt bad for Tim when he did that video. I mean, he was saying all the right points to hit on people to understand the system and what could possibly happen. So therefore, people were like, oh, she's keeping the kids away because now you got grandma saying I can't see the kids. But maybe it was, her self-conscious was telling her to keep him away, even though it could have been middle school, or she could have been being petty with him. But Lord have mercy. Ooh, I wonder if they got, I wonder if he put life insurance policy out on his kids. Who knows? I know. Incognito. What's up, Incognito News? I know. It is. I was shocked. I was like, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. What's up, Absolute? Say it ain't so. Martha Smith. Say it ain't so. Jennifer was thirsty when she was with him. She was. So that's why people was believing when he was saying that Jennifer's harassing him and stalking him. But this dude is vicious. He got an insurance policy in 2014 and then waited to 2016 to handle his business. I guess the workload got less than less. And he don't got all that sweetie pie money like that more because of the pandemic. So he's probably really scratching for pennies now. He thought he was broke back in 2016 or 2014. Now he's really feeling it. And I don't know what grandma gonna do. I don't know what Miss Robbie gonna do. Miss Robbie, you gonna be in between you in a bad spot right now. You in a bad spot because your kid that you gave birth to, your other kid took their son, which is your grandson. So it's going to be a hard situation to waver whether you should help, just like the situation with Nicki Minaj, and, basically people was like, she better not help her brother. And some people said she did help her brother Jelani, with his legal fees and things like that. Ooh, that new Sweetie Pies is about to close, most likely. And that's going to deter people too as well. Like any little thing can stop people from your business. Any bad press can stop business, especially when you have people, when your business is dependent on people, purchasing from you, and you don't want this bad press. Not in 2020. Not in 2020. You don't want that. Lord have mercy. When it rings, it's pause. She got to deal with all that. I know a 48-year-old man who was abused by his I feel you, Happy Days. Like this is nothing new that people put out life insurance policies on people, but and take them out. I just didn't I just didn't hear about it unless I turned to the ID channel. Yep, I remembered. I knew she had took him to court. Yep, there is a special place. Amen to that. Oh, thank you so much, Apso. You're so sweet. Thank you, Apso. For real. Thank you. Nicole. Oh, yeah. Oh, was he? Let me go back to it. Lord, he probably think he's gonna get off. Who knows? Why he out here smiling? Oh, he is smiling. You are so right. I'm still so perturbed and so pissed off. I didn't even notice the man was smiling in his munch. I didn't even notice. I know it is, LaDonna. It is. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do because, it's her son and her grandson and her child she gave birth to did. I know, T-Spill. I don't know. I don't even know. That's not good. So somebody got to keep an eye on her. Make sure she's good. Oh, I know, for real. That's what Yep, he is. So all the women that got away from him, they better be happy that they did. For real. I know. Terry Simmons. I know. Pay Williams. Oh, I bet it's awful. For the love of money. For the love of money. Yeah, it came out like at 4 p.m., but I was doing something else at the time. I was doing Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh, no, that's all right. We don't even need to be on that long. It's already 12 something. I just wanted to talk about this because I was shocked and I was feeling a certain type of way. I wanted to know who else felt a certain type of way and how you feel about the situation. Because sometimes, I be seeing shit and I just be going ham in my head. And I be feeling like I need to talk to somebody because this shit ain't right. This don't sound right. This is low down and dirty. Like, does anybody else feel this way? Like, you got to get it out sometimes. You got to release it. Like, you guys are releasing it in the chat and talking about it. If you call, you releasing it, I'm releasing it with y'all. We are doing each other a service right now as we speak. Yes, facts, Tia. Sugar mama, facts. Crazy. Happy days. Yes, it is. Straight up chef disaster. I thought he, any man with like, a big ass face and big ass ears and have that, mohawk on his head, and he ain't 21, he ain't 22, he ain't 17. Only person that looked good with that mohawk hairstyle that was of a certain age was Usher. And it looked weird, his big ass ears and that mohawk. Like, what's going on with that situation? Like, come on, mix me with that. And then the big old hips, like he should have been working out on his hips. Yes, yeah. And you're right about that. I never I was like, oh, I think I first thing when the show first came out, I was like, oh, he's really trying. He's a decent dude or whatever. But I always thought he looked weird. And my opinion with the outfits and then the hair looks like Broken Ray. Chef Disaster looked like Broken Ray Lewis. I don't know what's going on. He's smiling like the Joker and them big hips. See that hairstyle? Like, you too old to be having that with them ears and that face. Only Usher could pull that off at his age. Not you. Phaedra Parks, you better be glad you ran, girl. Them curvy hips, them hips was big. those birthing hips, I know. Miss Sugar Mama Smith, remember the memorial dinner day? I don't watch the show, so I don't know. They had, and how quiet he was to sit there and watch his family hurt was so sinister. I could imagine, because I only watched like 5 episodes of the show. Like I said, the show made me hungry and made me want to eat. And at that time, I was really like, 1:30. So I was like, I can't watch this food. This food looks so good. But the way that you just explained that, Miss Smith, that's just like the crazy movies that we be seeing in our lifetime and things like that the person be, hiding in plain sight. That is plain sight. Yes, and the smiling is, And he said nothing. Oh, yeah. Because it was probably eating at him. He probably already knew this day was going to come. Because whatever they found out, he probably knew that there were some loose ends too as well. Hey, Hey, LSW. It was a good show. What I watched was good too. There was a little bit of drama, but that food looked too good. Norris Tony, if Tim had anything to do with this, yep. Well, he's pretty much kind of like canceled. Nobody really talks about him unless he does some shit like he just did on Instagram, calling out his baby mama. And then his mama come out and she was calling her out too as well. High priestess. I knew he was hiding something in those childbearing hips. Y'all are a mess. No amount of money, and $9,000, Miss Ellis, she gonna be doing $9,000. They wildin'. Do they know $9,000? But maybe even to a person that don't got money, if you living from paycheck to paycheck, but you already know $9,000 is nothing worth for you risking the rest of your life, the rest of your freedom. We gotta dive and we gotta get over these huddles each and every day that we go out here and we exist on this world, especially because of the color of our skin and the people that don't like us just because of who we are and how they set up these traps for us. But a $9,000 trap, no, you gotta keep moving. It's a shame. Yes, sir, Chef Disaster. It's a shame. It's definitely a shame. And maybe Miss Robbie, she's not going to be happy. She's probably happy. She probably feels some type of way that, at least her grandson murder was solved. But then, if Tim is anything like, is cracking up to be like, it doesn't look good, You know, she's probably in a safe place because who knows what type of insurance policy he got out on her. He is built real funny. He's probably, why is he smiling? He's smiling in a picture he's smiling in that picture like he's all good with the situation, like he's gonna get off, like they got an innocent man. Well, we'll see, innocent until proven guilty, but in the court of public law, you know, people feeling a certain type of way about your behavior in the past on the show and how you acted when certain situations came up about your nephew Andre Montgomery, that you acted very suspicious, and now they understand why. They probably was puzzled when they was watching the episode. Now they're not puzzled anymore. So, but in the court of public opinion, people feel like you did it, bro. But, you know, you have to face the judge. Is Phaedra going to be his attorney? He definitely going to jail entanglement B. He ain't gonna never see the light of day. If Phaedra Parks is his attorney, goodbye. Free spirit truth teller. Oh, he's just that I know. Kevin Brown, we got to remember he just got out of prison when the show started. Yeah, and I was proud. I was like, when I watched the episode, that was good. He was holding it down. He was basically like taking care of the family, making sure the shit was running right. And then it just went crazy. Yes, because at first Miss Robbie trusted the business with him, but she seeing things too. But remember, she is not a young woman. Yeah, and so when you get to a certain age, you depend on your children. That's going bloody Mary Jane. Chef his ass. I don't even know what I said. Phaedra's about Phaedra. Okay. Phaedra gonna cash out. She know he ain't, she know. Only way he gonna get some money is somebody in the family put up the money, and mama gotta put up the money. And whoever took a part of that $450,000 that he got, that's a part of that family, they're gonna be hurt. They're gonna be feeling a certain type of way. She can't win a case if her life depended on it, Ralph. Facts. Oh, his girlfriend's pregnant too? Wow. Well, she's protected now if he's actually involved. I can't believe it either, Lee. I can't believe it either. No, he has not been, he's not been convicted in the court, but he's been convicted in the court of public opinion. Some people believe it and some people, but most people believe he did it. I don't know why. I guess he gives out that vibe that people think he did it. I don't think it has anything to do. Let me just keep it. He was weak on that show. He was weak in real life. There you go, Asso. It got Needle News. I don't know. They're gonna find. They probably already traced the money, because if they know the dancer that was involved, how she, deposit the money in various accounts, they definitely know probably where that money went to, when he cashed it, what account he deposited in, and how he ciphered the money out of the account. So it's like he's been arrested. He has been arrested. Yes, he has. For murder to hire plot, straight out of Dateline, straight out of TV, straight out of Lifetime, straight. And it also says, one second. Yeah. So it also says that Miss Robbie always believed her grandson departure from this earth was a setup. They said that she always believed that was deep in her heart, that she believed that it was a setup. Yeah, it looked like a setup. He came outside, people knew his location, and got him, clean like that in front of the grandmother's house. And she was shocked, but they said that Miss Robbie Montgomery always thought that it was a setup. Her grandson was set up. So now she knows. If she thought it was a setup, now it probably makes sense to her now. Now everything is probably making sense to her. And so now she has to decide whether she wants to assist her son in his criminal case or not. Poor Oprah. What now? Say, oh, it's Oprah. Don't let me get to talking about Oprah. He just had a baby. Tim is built like he just had a baby. Lord have mercy. Facts, though. It's true. Y'all ain't lying. Oh, T-Spell. Yep, that's what they said at the end of that. She always felt like, it was a setup. Well, I guess, you know what? Is my phone on? I think my phone's on. No, it's on. Yeah, but that's the situation. So probably more information is gonna come out. Maybe somebody's gonna come out and speak on his behalf. But his mom is older now. This is a lot to deal with. Yes, sir. Facts, Chef Disaster. Facts, facts, facts. All right, guys, we're going to close this out. No, there's no phone calls. Nobody's calling in. We done said what we had to say about this situation, but make sure you trust and know everybody in your life and be blessed to have the wonderful, loving people you have in your life, because you can have a family member like Tim, allegedly, if he actually did this, because he's innocent. He's innocent until proven guilty. He's not been, proven guilty yet. So, absolutely, you so crazy. I'm really disappointed, and Sky Nuno. I was like, what? I just couldn't. I was just like, this is just crazy. Oh my goodness. It's like an awful, awful situation, but luckily his child mother got away, because who knows what, after, if he got into another, desperate situation, or he felt like he needed another $450, or he needed $550,000, you don't know what he would do. So you're better off not being with someone that can actually come up with this plot and idea and execute it too as well, allegedly, because he's innocent until proven guilty. For real, like, Lord have mercy. But his children are safe with their mother and her new husband. So he won't see. I know. He probably was sleeping all the time in fear. He probably knew this day was going to come. Yes, rest in peace, Andre, because that's cold-blooded to have your old school uncle supposed to be the G. He done just got out. He just, he just bailed out. He's out. Now he's running these businesses. He's making sure he's employing people. We on TV. And even though I don't get along with him like that, but, he got some knowledge and some wisdom. So even though we butt heads, that's still my uncle. He still got my back. And that ain't even the case. Like, sometimes you gotta watch out for them OGs. Sometimes you gotta watch out for them family members, because you don't know what they up to. Jennifer Williams, you better thank God that you are free, and you gotta start choosing wisely, because the last man that you chose ran off with your car, and he did you wrong. Be careful, Jennifer. Be careful. Choose wisely. Get to know these people. Have them take all types of tests before you get into a relationship, because you skeeted out of that relationship with Tim, where you had to go to court and get a restraining order. So Jennifer, you got lucky. Sometimes you don't even know how lucky you are. Sometimes you don't know how blessed you are. You be thinking you down and out, you're in a bad situation, but then you get some news and you realize that you are really lucky. Yo, Grace Turner, he was sleeping just fine and even took his mama to I know, that's some old other level stuff. That's the ID channel stuff. Like, you don't really be seeing brothers doing stuff like that with their mama too. And then talking about it, being like, look at his eyes. Jennifer, you better be glad. You better be glad that you go. Sometimes we don't even know how blessed we are. Sometimes we don't know how God moves, how our ancestors move to protect us. And we don't even know that we be in a safe spot. We be dying to be in another spot, but we're in the right spot where we're supposed to be. And I thought Jennifer was lying, because Tim was very cunning, and he used her past. against her to make it seem like she was crazy. She wanted this fame. She wanted to be this internet sensational couple. She wanted to be on the show, and she wanted to marry me. And he was very good at what he did. He was very good at being very convincing. Even the video with him whiling out, talking about his children's mother, not being able to see his child, is very convincing. Where, like, boy, you better, Oh, that's cool, Lee. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. He played the game real well, but got played. At the end of the day, every dog has his mother sucking day. And sometimes you just don't know how blessed you are and protected. You don't know how your ancestors, the ones that passed on, the ones that you don't even know about, but they know about you because you carry the same bloodline, and God be watching over you and protecting you. Just the universe, just being the person that you are, will remove you from situations, and you be fighting to get back in them situations. You be running up and down the street. You be calling and chasing down, and you don't even know that you being blessed, that you ain't being bothered in these situations with these people. Sometimes you just got to thank your lucky stars and just roll with the flow. If God, if your ancestors, if the universe remove somebody out your life, let them remove. Don't become chased. There's a reason why they was removed. There's a reason why you don't mess with that person no more. There's a reason why that person don't call you, because some things, and just how life goes, they can't affect you, and they know they can't affect you, and they have to put in too much work to get deep in you, to get deep inside, where they end up turning the corner, going somewhere else. Sometimes we know that we be blessed. Remember, he got her assistant. I know. This is crazy. Like, damn, I feel bad for this mama. This mama been out here swinging and banging on Instagram for Tim, to see his son and to see her grandchild. And her son done took one of her grandchildren. Moving them from your life. Amen. Happy days right there. Miss Sugar Mama. Y'all know Tim rode the short bus. He rode some bus. You never know when your boat got too many holes in it. Right? There was some holes in his boat. There was some holes in that boat. Some holes in that boat. Now he's sinking. And let me stop, because I don't know if he's guilty. Let me stop. He's the type of person who used the past benefits as a cost. Yes. And that happens a lot because they're trained. Well, they end up training themselves too as well, because one thing is they don't want to get locked back up. And plus, he thinks that he's smarter, he's cunning, and he's the it factor. I was like, I don't even know how you think you the it factor, baby. You don't even look, you look weird. Let me stop talking junk. So we don't know if he's guilty. So let's not say that he's guilty. We don't know if he's guilty at all. He just been arrested for murder to hire plot. Him and a former, I was about to say rodeo just to be smart. A former, exotic dancer, Ellis, have been arrested for murder to hire plot. He's behind bars. He got the mug shot. So, he hasn't, all the charges probably have not came out yet. So we don't know. So I don't want it to be like he's guilty, but why does it feel like he's guilty? Like, I don't usually be feeling like people are guilty. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, I just don't always come and just be like, yo, that person did it. This may be speculation. Yeah, we're speculating. That's what we do. We don't know if he's guilty, but when the FBI comes, they have receipts. They have the wire transfers. That's what they do have. Yes, Tony, there may be speculation. Glenda, deep down inside, she knew her son. Oh, I think you were right on top. That Glenda smiles. Deep down inside, she knew her son was not crap, but still did stuff for his no good behind. I feel like he had issues. You said a word right there. You spoke a word. All the evidence sound like he's guilty, and he's smiling in the mug shot like he ain't coming back to see, the outside world, right, Lee? He took it. He looked like he did it. The old folks used to say, he looked like he did it. She did it. She looked like she did it. Look at how she's scratching. Look at how she moving. She did it. I know she did it. I know she took the cookies out the cookie jar. I just know she did it. too funny. He said, but this poor man and his family and his mother, you know, what they have to go through. And he probably never thought in 1 minute that his uncle would do some deprived shit like that. Or maybe he did. Maybe Miss Ruby even probably felt like her son may have had something to do with it. Because when he departed from this earth, you know, Andre Montgomery, may you rest in peace. May you have justice in the spirit world and here on earth, baby. Maybe Miss Ruby noticed Tim had came into a load of money. And maybe Tim was buying things. Maybe Miss Ruby felt it in her heart. And when she said she felt like, you know, it was a setup of somebody that knew him. And then right around that time, I don't know if Tim waited to spend the money. But I bet she had her suspicions too, because a mother especially knows her son most of the time. I know he did, Absol. So many are in jail. I know. That's not a place to be. And he probably made $450,000 over and over again running them restaurants. The spirit of discernment will let you know. Real talk. Amen, Miss Sugar Mama. Thank you guys so much for coming through. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. My peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building. Stay woke. Stay awake. And make sure you watch the people that you trust. Make sure you watch them. Make sure you know who's around you. You know who you chilling with, what they will do and what they won't do. And the only way that you know that, if you can pick up the spirit of discernment and you can read their soul, or if you get any inclination that you need to bounce, you need to leave, or you don't need to be around that person, you need to bounce. For real, for real. Much love to all my peeps and my peoples. Peace.